I'm going to share with you Charlie's story, which begins in 2015. He was my second child, and he was born via planned C-section. It wasn't until his first pediatric checkup at 6 days old that we discovered that he had hypothermia, and eventually we would learn that he had suspected bacterial meningitis. He'd spent 30 days in the hospital, and when we were discharged, we left that hospital with the mantra of moving forward, thinking this was it. All of this stuff was behind us. But it wasn't. Charlie did not meet major developmental milestones, and soon he could not crawl, he could not swallow, he wouldn't roll over, and he did not speak. So I applied for Medicaid in June of 2018, and we waited. We waited 3 years, 8 months, and 6 days in order to receive services. During that time, our life was chaotic, and we lived in limbo. Charlie was not old enough to attend school, and no daycare would take him. So I became his full-time, unpaid care coordinator, case manager, advocate. I was his mom. Before Medicaid, every single year, we would hit our private insurance's out-of-pocket maximum. We could not afford his regular therapies, and we knew he desperately needed them. We would chase grants, write to nonprofits. We would just hope someone would help us get the equipment that we knew he needed, whether it be a gait trainer, a walker, or specialized feeding equipment. I don't know how, but somehow we made it work. We finally got Charlie a wheelchair. We got him that walker. We got therapy that didn't stop after 30 visits. 30 visits does not cover 4 months worth of therapy for us. It is because of Medicaid, Charlie, who just recently began walking, is able to run across the playground and play with his friends. Charlie will soon be 10. He continues to have a pediatric feeding and swallowing disorder, and he still does not speak with words, but he knows how to spell his name. He knows his numbers 0 through 20. He knows his colors, and he's beginning to communicate with a communication device. He is making real progress, and that is a result of Medicaid. Medicaid is the backbone of the care that Charlie receives. Private insurance covers a combined 30 occupational and physical therapy visits a year. 30 visits, less than 4 months worth of care for just 2 therapies. What are we going to do the rest of this year? I'd be lying if I told you that I'm not scared. We're in the process of moving to the intellectual disability waiver, and we're absolutely terrified about what these federal funding cuts could mean for our family. If they go through, Charlie, he could lose everything, and we have fought for years to get these services. I've worked really hard as the president of the ARC of Iowa to share our story with elected officials. I've attended town halls with Senator Grassley. I couldn't get 5 minutes with him so that he would meet my son, so that he would know his name, Charles William Curtis, a boy who can now spell his name, who can walk, who's learning to feed himself, and all of this has been made possible because of Medicaid. When people talk about Medicaid being an entitlement, you'll have to forgive me, but I snark. I think, oh yes, I'm so entitled that I get to take my son to therapy 4 days a week. Or I'm so entitled that I get to spend sleepless nights going through stacks of paperwork, looking for bills and denials. The hoops that we get to jump through just so that I can give Charlie access to basic health care. When I hear that some of our elected officials are suggesting that we're all just going to die someday, and that I should stop being so concerned about these budget cuts, I'm filled with rage. They're asking me to ignore my son's very most basic well-being and needs. And as his mother, I can't do that. This should not be a political issue. This is a human issue. And I am here today to be the voice of Charlie and millions of children who cannot speak. We are willing to work with anyone, with any letter next to their name, across any aisle, who is willing to protect a program that has given my son not just the chance to survive, but to actually thrive.